Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a few cost-effective games. When it comes to playing games over the years, most games are like, I've been there, I've played, I don't regret it. Some of the games I'm going to recommend today are, I've been here, I'm still here, I'm not leaving. If you focus on the price/performance ratio of games, then the games featured in this program are worthy of each other. These games are basically Steam Sandbox games. Open world, build management, survival crisis, etc. These games are excellent in no particular order, as long as the graphics are to your liking. Without further ado, let's go. The first game was Rim World, which was a 2D game. It has received positive reviews on Steam since its release in 2018. The game tells the story of 3 human survivors who are forced to land on an alien planet. All the player has to do is keep an eye on them and create conditions for them to survive. The game has a huge, complex, and surprising gameplay experience. As the game progresses, you will discover a variety of alien existential crises, both imagined and unimagined, such as the destruction and change caused by environmental factors, the siege of wild animals or the emergence of other tribes, and so on. As the game progresses, the population in the game grows. With more people, production, construction, and development will be accelerated. But more people make more trouble. Dealing with people's health problems or emotional disputes between people becomes one of the focus and highlights of the game. So much so that at some point, looking at the little people floating around on the screen, you might accidentally develop a crush on them. It's like they really have emotions. They exist in another dimension. The second game is Story of Stardew Valley. When it comes to this game, I really had a process of getting to know it. When it first came out, I was blind and seriously underestimated the game. I thought it was just a common emotionally oriented game. It wasn't until after the game went viral that a lot of press and bigwigs were talking about it, and it was an amazing game, that I picked it up again. In the game, the player plays the role of a company slave, who can't stand the daily, complicated, and boring work. So he opened the letter his grandfather had left him before he died. Inside was a note and a large pasture left for him. So he came to this magical land called Stardew Valley. Started a new life in a place called Pelican Town. Here he will meet a number of NPCs with stories, and can develop a story with one of them. Of course, there's more to the game than that. Farming, exploring caves, reinventing towns, all of which sound casual, is what players do most of the time during the game's flow. In short, this is a game that won't make you rush. You don't have to rush to unlock new stories, nor do you have to pursue anything utilitarian, because in this game, you just need to live like a normal person can be. The third game is Terraria. Speaking of this game, I stand up and salute it. If I could only pick one game in the world to play, it would be Terraria. It's a game that combines exploration, collecting, fighting, and building. Players will explore and discover the entire planet. In the beginning, you can only gather some basic materials and supplies to build some simple and necessary facilities. As the game updates and plays longer, you will find that other games are getting better and better, but here you're still exploring and being surprised by what you find. While there is a goal, there is also a so-called main line. But few people rush to do it once they get started. Basically spend a lot of time walking around in this beautiful, dangerous, and magical world. And even if you finally accomplish your goals, you will still be attached to the world. Since the release of the game in 2011, multiple version updates have made the game quite improved, and the content has also reached the level of unimagined. I think this game is really fun. The fourth game is No Oxygen. It is a survival simulation game with the theme of space colonization. Players will find a way to survive deep within the planet. The graphics are beautiful and it's easy to get started, but it's very difficult to play well. Because there are a lot of basic elements I can't remember, let alone synthetic materials. When I first approached the game, I wasn't convinced. How can I get stuck on a game? So I worked through the night, team after team, solved a series of problems, and finally qualified. Since I wasn't very good at math and physics in school, I had to explore little by little if I wanted to build more advanced facilities in the game. Maybe it's just another pleasure to explore? In short, if you're a person who likes to explore possibilities, then this is a hardcore game for you. The fifth game is Don't Go Hungry. Famine is the best survival game I can recommend. Even though it seems a little childish, it's a survival game full of content and details. The whole process is centered on life, presenting the player with an alternative experience of science and magic. The player takes on the role of a character taken to a desert island by demons. He had to use everything around him to survive. So he began to gather, build, and learn to farm. He knew his only chance of escape was to survive. Weakness and ignorance are not barriers to survival, pride is. This quote comes from the three-body problem and is one of the most practical strategies in the game. Never think you can. Because right now, destruction awaits you. There are standalone and wired versions, so you can choose between them. The sixth game is the Dyson Sphere program. It's a game about building automated systems. Every time you play, you build and manage facilities on a randomly generated star map. Let them do their jobs and work together. Finish a very good Dyson ball. It provides a steady supply of energy to the control center. Here you can unlock different techniques and create your own Dyson ball in any way you like. And constantly improve its optimization, so that the production process has higher efficiency. The game graphics are beautiful, the stars are fascinating, the optimizations are excellent, and there's no need for 3D. If you've never played a game like this, I can only give you my opinion. What boy can say no to Tifa, to mecha, to automation? So give it a try. The seventh game is Project Zombie. It's also a survival, construction, open-world game. Let the player experience how to survive a zombie apocalypse for a longer period of time like a normal person. There's no super killer weapon against zombies. Only like ordinary people in the apocalypse zombie threat, hard to live. You will often feel scared, alone and powerless. That said, the game is a little more hardcore because your character is actually just a regular person. This game world is just a normal world. Although the graphics of the game look very ordinary, but the game is very playable and substitutable. I fell into this trap because I wanted to feel like a zombie. Until now, I had no idea how powerful zombies could be. The game taught me that zombies are only as good as the weapon in your hand and the environment you're in. The only thing harder to deal with than doomsday zombies is the fear of loneliness. So this is a game I recommend playing with multiple players online.
Well, the above is today recommended a few cost-effective games. They don't have amazing graphics, but from the player's point of view, fun is the ultimate pursuit. I'm sure one of them will suit you. If you like my recommendations, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm new to YouTube and I need your support. I will make more and better game shows, and I think I will never disappoint my friends who support me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.